What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be wrapping up my 2021 year with the MRS. So in this video we're going to be going back in time and going over some things that I did to the car and what I've done as a driver in 2021. So 2021 was really about getting on track. Previous to 2021, all I really did was autocross. If you guys look in my older videos, I only did one track day in 2020, and that was my first track day with the MRS. Going into 2021, I really wanted to expand my horizons and push the car on track as opposed to autocross. So jumping right into it, we're just going to skip over the things that don't involve my main car. If you guys want to see me drive the Touge RMR2 and stuff like that, feel free to watch those afterwards. But we're just going to jump into my car and what I did 2021. So at the beginning of the season, with my car, I made some changes to it to get it more ready for track stuff. The difference with track obviously is that you're going a lot faster, so I wanted to set my car up to understeer and be more stable as opposed to nimble. So what that entailed was here we got like corner balanced. I raised the ride height to compensate for a huge dip that's at the racetrack. That's another difference with track, right? There's elevation change. Autocross is just a flat parking lot. So in this video I did some ride height changes and got the car corner balanced. So if we skip around here, you'll also notice that I have a new wheel and tire setup. For Global Time Attack I was running 17s, and that's due to the rules. You can see down here, well, here's my weight if anyone's curious, 2178. You had to run 220 treadwear tires, and 15s, if you run 15s, they're pizza cutters. So like basically if you were running 15s, I couldn't go very wide, so I had to switch to 17s, which I personally think kind of sucks as far as gearing and weight of the wheel. The car really accelerated a lot slower. Anyways, fast forwarding here, we'll see some additional changes I made to the car. Here you can see I have an oil cooler, which was made at Lowe's Home Improvement. We have an eBay oil cooler with some AN lines. These are 10 AN lines, and they go to an oil sandwich plate. And attached to that oil sandwich plate is also a pressure sensor, and I also have a temp sensor. Here you can see, if anyone wants to make one, it's just a bracket here, bracket there, and this is actually, and then screwed in here. And actually this is really sturdy and doesn't move at all. Also for track, I changed the brake pads to Carbotech XP10s because EBCs aren't going to cut it. Actually, here's a list. So here it says GTA prep. Again, this was specific to the GTA enthusiast class, so I needed 220 treadwear tires. I did an oil cooler, oil pressure sensor. I wanted to do a front splitter, but I never got around to it. Put on a catalytic converter because you need that for the enthusiast class, and a 5-point harness. So yeah, that was basically what I did to prep the car for Global Time Attack, the first one, which was in April. So being in April, I was really expecting it to rain, so I got those Michelin PS4S's, which are supposed to be excellent in rain, but they ended up being terrible on track. I also got them used, which was not really a mistake because I couldn't afford new ones, so I ended up getting used PS4S's for the rear from eBay, and I had brand new ones on the front. But regardless, I mean, the limit of the tire was pretty low, and you'll see in this video if you watched it. So this was my second track day ever at Global Time Attack. There were some things that I was nervous about. First off, it was open passing, and the first time I really got to push the car on track without being held up or with no traffic and with a competition in mind. Like, I was really chasing time. Previous to this, I've never recorded a time, and going into the competition I really just wanted to beat 2 minutes because that's like the benchmark for anyone that starts out at the ridge. It's kind of like going sub 2 at Buttonwillow. It's generally quick, not the fastest, but definitely means you're moving in the right direction, I guess, depending on how much power your car has. The ridge here has this massive straightaway, so that's the majority of where I lose my time. If we skip forward, I was actually able to follow these S2000s. So there's one silver and one yellow. Again, this was my second track day, so I had no idea what line to take. And when these two S2000s went ahead of me, I was able to mimic their line and braking point. So when I was chasing these guys, that's basically what I was doing. It also helped me keep my eyes far ahead. So I was able to follow the silver S2000 and pass him on that lap, and by doing so I was able to do a 155, which I was really excited about at the time. Again, I was going into this competition just hoping to break 2 minutes, so 155 on some crappy tires really made me excited about what the car could do. So fast forwarding here, I was all hyped up. You can see I'm driving on the limit. Have no idea what the line is still. You can see here I got some Jackie Ding style sliding around. Really comfortable with how the car handled at this point. Like, I think this is the hardest I ever pushed the car all year, and I don't know if I was able to recover and drive at the limit like that again after this part right here. So there I hit ice mode with the ABS, means the car thought I was on ice and it engaged ABS. The pedal just became rock hard and I almost hit the wall. And I think after that I've been trying to work my way up to push the car on the edge, just over the edge limit again. But yeah, overall, this is my first global time attack. I ended up having a tire puncture, which I got to repair on the first day, so I was losing air after that 155. Again, these are used tires, and it just so happened that one of the tires I had 3 holes in it when I bought it. So anyways, fast forwarding, it was raining the next day anyway, so there probably wasn't too much room for me to improve. It ended up that the wheel lug actually was broken on the front, so I just called it quits because it would be dangerous to continue. But anyways, overall I was very happy to get a 155, and I was able to come in 3rd place, which was surprising to me, and I was very surprised the car could do a 155 at all. So moving forward, we'll skip over this, but if you want to see my car go against a good driver in an S2000, you can check that out. This was just a fun track day, and I was just throwing the car around and driving friends around and stuff like that. Yeah, so next competition was Autocross. I only did one Autocross with the Touge MRS, mainly again because I was focusing on track stuff. This was event I went to just because all my friends were going, and Autocross is more affordable than track by far, and I didn't go to Autocross all year. Overall, the only thing I did to this, besides my car being set up on track, was I just went back to a square setup. Just with the square tire setup, I was able to place 1st in the competition, and I think it was by a good margin if I recall too. Yeah, so yeah, as the title implies, I was ahead by 1.2 seconds, so overall not bad, just switching to a square setup. I think also driving on track, it made me really confident driving in Autocross 2, even more so. So moving on, this is my 2nd global time attack in July, so the only difference here for this competition to the car was I got new Federal RSRs. So Federal RSRs are the 220 treadwear Federal tire, and they were the tires that the 2 cars that beat me were running at the last global time attack, so basically I copy pasted them. So overall, going to this competition, I had a good feeling that the car would be good, but unfortunately it was not performing its best. It ended up being that I had a wheel bearing problem, and the brake was actually dragging in the rear, so I was like 5 miles an hour slower on the front straightaway and just slower overall. I ended up with a 157, and I came in 2nd to the silver S2000 that I was chasing in my previous video. So yeah, 157, not good. A whole 2 seconds slower with what should have been faster tires. It was hotter that day, but you guys will see something was wrong with my wheel bearing. Let me fast forward to that. You can see the whole wheel bearing was shaking, and what that did was With the deflection, it was hitting my brakes also, and obviously your car is not going to perform well if you have a wobbly wheel. So, but yeah, overall, I was able to get second place, which was cool. The car overall just wasn't running well that day, but we were still able to get second place. So overall, I guess that's an improvement. So it was a good time with all my friends. Ended up going back home on a flatbed. Let's see, next video. So in this video, I go to a track day with some friends, and I was able to chase my friend Mike Reed, who I do a podcast with. So by chasing him, his car does a 148, and he's a good driver and has another mid-engine car, a lot more power, but I tend to push the car more when I chase someone. In this track day, I used really old RE71s. They're actually the first RE71s that I ran when I started this channel, so if you guys want some reference, those tires are pretty bald. Anyways, I'm fast forwarding here. I was able to hit a PB of a 154, and that's with really old tires. In hindsight, I probably should have just put good tires because yeah, you know, I'm always chasing time, but I really wanted to burn off my old tires. This was also the first video, I think, of a track day where I have a pedal cam, so if you guys want to check that out, it's a pretty good video. So, to the next competition. This one was an interesting one. So, the next competition was On Grid. So, On Grid, I signed up for their time attack competition, and I kind of like their rules better, I think, a little bit. It's a little bit more power friendly. So, in my class, you couldn't have more than a 6-cylinder NA, so I was at least able to be competitive on the power front, and you couldn't run aero, so people couldn't get away with aero mods. So you'll see here for this competition, I made some changes to the car. I removed the GT wing, and then I put on new wheels and tires. So this is a used set of 15x9s, 225 front, 245 rear. And the best part was that these were 40 series tires. So being 40 series, the car essentially had a different final drive, and it was able to accelerate better, and the gears feel closer. And overall, the 2ZZ is a lot happier with these 15s. The rears are used. Again, oh, there's Tony, rest in peace. I got his exhaust here. Yeah, I ended up running 225, 245. So the 225s up front were new, and the rears were used from a Global Time Attack Civic. Okay, in this competition, I again had no wings, so I spent the start of the day basically trying to adapt to the car. Without the wing, the car had a lot more top end and acceleration, also paired with the smaller tires. So the car was a lot happier on the straights and was actually accelerating pretty decently. And I was able to hit 5th gear in 2 sections on the infield, which I've never done before. So we were carrying a good amount of speed into turns, but overall not able to carry that speed without the GT wing. Later on, I was able to adjust the rear sway bar and compensate with my driving. And yeah, see, we're in 5th gear now. If you pause, we're entering, yeah, we're over 100 miles an hour going into this turn. So entering pretty hot boy. But overall, I was able to adapt with my driving. In this video, you see me chase a K24 Miata and cool stuff like that. I also switched to the classic view with the pedal cam again. Overall, I was able to drive with no aero and was able to get a 154 again. So that was pretty good considering there's no wing. And that was basically time made up with newer tires and the straightaway with no wing. If I look on my predicted time, actually during the day, I was predicted for a 152. So going into 2022, I think 152 is going to be like my main goal. I think that's really possible with a new set of tires, well, or like these set of tires that are on the car in this video, and a new wing that I have on order. So I'm going to be switching to a 9 lives wing because it was pretty noticeable that I have a lot of drag running my eBay wing. So yeah, that's pretty much a wrap up of my 2022. Yeah, check out my podcast with Mike here. We do talk about like track stuff, and it seems to be pretty popular. Anyways, guys, that's basically a good summary of my 2021 year. We basically pushed the car to new horizons on the track, so hopefully going into 2022 we do the same by going into different competitions, different tracks, hopefully out of state, and I hope to take the car on some hill climb competitions as well. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. I also noticed that I kind of pigeonholed myself into driving videos. I don't get as many views and installs, but it seems that my driving and track day videos do better. But anyways, if you guys want to see those or anything else, make sure to leave me a comment. I hope you guys have a good new year. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.